I'd love to have the whistleblower who wrote a fake report. I want to know what happened to the second whistleblower. What happened to the informer? Remember that an informer? They all disappeared when I gave the transcript.
I lost track of how many whistleblowers, informants. Well, the president raised some great points during my exclusive interview with him on Friday. What happened to the person who launched this entire impeachment sham? The connection to Adam Schiff. How many connections are there to Adam Schiff? Can't wait for Schiff to testify. And why haven't we heard from the whistleblower? They don't get any special immunity from testifying. If you thought that, you were wrong. Joining me now is Devin Nunes, ranking member in the House Intel Committee. Congressman, Washington Examiner's Byron York asking this in a new piece. Is the Senate really going to try the president, take a vote on this removal from office based on an investigation with such murky origins? How did this even get this far?
They've been hell-bent to impeach for 3 years. In your last panel, the guests we're talking about, I think former Congressman Barr, I mean, they've ruined and stepped all over the Constitution, but they've also ruined the House Intelligence Committee. I mean, at some point, I'd like to be able to come on this show and talk about the work that the people sent me here to do, which is to protect our country, serve on the House Intelligence Committee and the Ways and Means Committee, where we deal with trade issues and all the important issues that people actually care about.
China, which has an economy that is verging on being larger than ours, with a larger standing army. I know they're all coming into town, so we're not supposed to, oh, China, but that's a threat. That's a threat to the United States.
The Republicans, we had an investigation going into China. We still do. We're going to have legislation coming out on China, but we've had virtually no hearings whatsoever.
No, they're not. But they are not interested in governing or representing the people. They're interested in the removal of the president. That's it. Now, I want to play something for you. This was Tammy Baldwin, Senator Baldwin, when the issue was raised of Hunter Biden. Speaking of witnesses we haven't heard from. Watch.
The idea for a trial is to have witnesses who have knowledge about the articles of impeachment that have been sent over or will be sent over from the House. It's abuse of power, and it is obstruction of Congress. Hunter Biden really has no bearing on those things.
No relevance, Hunter Biden.
Well, clearly Biden has relevance, along with all the Democratic operatives that were doing exactly what they accused Trump of doing. They were over in Ukraine digging up dirt on Trump. You ask also about, about Adam Schiff. What's he doing? I mean, he needs to testify. Everyone's guess is tomorrow that he's going to be one of the quote-unquote managers that's going to be over in the Senate trying to prosecute this case.
So what does he do? He puts on the case, then he walks over to the witness. Is there a witness stand? I don't even know how it's going to look.
I don't know.
Does he walk hold on, let me put down this microphone and grab the mic, go on the other side.
Well, yeah, but he needs to answer questions because he's a fact witness. He's the one that first had interactions with the whistleblower. And then you take on top of this new
He says he's
Parnas.
not a fact witness. He's on The View today. I know you saw it when you were sitting there with bonbons watching The View. Watch what he said.
Oh, nice.
Would you, if asked, be willing to testify if you were subpoenaed?
Look, I'm not a fact witness, so other than mollifying the president, I'm not sure why the Senate would call me or Nancy Pelosi as a witness.
Well, of course he's a witness. They just get away with this because the media is letting him get away with it. We still don't know how this whistleblower ever came to be, who on his staff that they talked to. We find out new things all the time, right? Like we just found out the other day that Mary McCord, former DOJ personnel, had been advising the Democrats. We didn't know about that.
Lev Parnas.
And now, Lev Parnas. This is another thing.
We got these notes of like scribble scrabble on a Ritz-Carlton Vienna notepad, and we're supposed to all think, oh, the Democrats have a smoking gun. This is ridiculous. This says nothing. This is just, we're not even dated.
This is the guy. So who's Adam Schiff hanging out with? Parnas. Parnas, who's been indicted on serious federal crimes. The Democrats have been in negotiations to try to give this guy
sweetheart deal,
some type of nullification of his agreement. But remember, this guy has lied about me. He's lied about us several times. He's lied about our staff. This is not someone who is a credible witness for anything.
Mike Flynn has withdrawn his guilty plea in court today due to the government's bad faith, vindictiveness, and breach of his plea agreement. What else can you tell us?
Well, we knew from early on in 2017 that Michael Flynn did not lie to the FBI. We actually put that in our report. It didn't come out until 2018 after Flynn had already pled. But there were several of us as witnesses. We also told the highest levels of DOJ that we had been briefed by the FBI that Flynn didn't lie to the FBI.
Didn't Peter Strzok come out from that meeting with Flynn, and he didn't think he lied?
Well, interesting you say that. There's missing documentation that we've never received. And then to add on further to that, well, I want to make sure everybody understands this. We put it on a report, okay? And some of the things that General Flynn is saying in what he gave to the court today, withdrawing his plea, he's saying he's been treated unfairly. Remember, we put this on our report in 2018, and for some reason, it was redacted. We had to fight for what seemed a couple months in order to get that unredacted. So, you know, we're witnesses here, too, we were briefed by the FBI that Flynn didn't lie. And, you know, I just don't see, he needs to withdraw the plea, and I guess, you know, some of us need to speak on his behalf. Since the FBI should have this information.
Vindictive prosecution withholding exculpatory evidence. That's a real no-no, along with fudging stuff at the FISA court. So there seems to be a pattern of misbehavior.
And remember,
at the FBI.
we alerted the FBI and DOJ too.
This was all, you had a lot in your report that has all been vindicated. Congressman, hey, thanks for coming in tonight.
Anytime. Thank you, Laura.
Keep it up for Flynn.